know. You don't vex me, but I say, go. When I make no sense.
So if Nikki Blacks is on the radio right now playing, you wouldn't be playing some of the music that...
But I stop a Valiant.
Was it that alone?
Yeah.
P6, something, P6.
Who that?
Malika.
Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. This one is called He That Exalted Himself Shall Be Abased. People will hate you if you're outspoken. The person that I'm speaking about is one Nicola Sophia Brown Modest. Brown hyphenated Modest. I guess she's probably married to a Haitian for the papers. No evidence to substantiate those claims. However, what I do know is that that young lady, well, not really young lady, known as Nikki Blacks in the street, was picked up by ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, under the new regime of the Uncle Donald. Based on information, it is said that she had a previous case back in 2020 and she was on probation, went to see her probation officer, and I guess because they are now synchronizing ICE, police department, probation, they got information, or the information was red flag, and she was held pending deportation hearing. Now here's the thing about this young lady, well, not really young lady, is that she's been in America from ever since a couple of decades. And you have to ask yourself the question, somebody that is so outspoken, somebody that is such a hustler, how is it that she did not hustle up the paper? And people, it could be for a couple of reasons. Some of them I will explore. Based on the fact that Nikki Blacks is what you call a fence for the hustler, meaning if you have some cocoa, if you have some weed, whether you bought it and a hustle it or you thief it as a taker in a Florida and New York are the epicenter of taker. Taker are people that steal people drugs, steal people cash. When them get it, them can't sell it themselves because it's a stolen product. So therefore, they link persons like Nikki Blacks, who happens to know everybody's business and everybody who is hustling. Who is buying, who is thieving, she know everybody from A to Z. However, it seems as if those same hustle traits also got her in trouble before. So maybe because she had a criminal record, maybe because she had an arrest, then she could not get that documentation, because here's how it goes in America under the immigration system. If you have a police record or a criminal record, it automatically disqualifies you for being the recipient of a green card. If you have a green card and you get a criminal record, depending on when you get that green card, after 1996, the rules change tremendously. Wherein, if you are a felon, if you are an aggravated felon specifically, then you are liable for deportation. So I don't know the circumstance in which Nikki Blacks fall into, but what I do know is that maybe the paperwork, or obviously the paperwork was not as straight, or even if it is straight, it kind of fresh. So therefore, if you get any sorts of prison sentence, whether it is over a year or whether you get a year and probation, me not know the circumstances as it pertains to her specific case. So Nikki Black is one of those persons that she knows everybody business, used to hang around the flea market, 183rd Street and 441 to be specific. Anybody she see, she beg, she hustle, she do everything. She is a survivor. You have to give credit where credit is due. Now here is where things kind of change, the tide kind of change, the changing of the guard, the new world order. With the voting in of the Donald, with ICE clamping down on everybody who they deem to be illegal in their country, specifically criminal elements. I do not think that immigration And the Fort Lauderdale Department of Correction know the intricacies or details of Nikki Blacks. Maybe they do. But the fact is that whenever you are on social media, disrespecting people have a whole bunch of enemies, especially with the implementation of that new policy in which the police department, the feds, the ICE, they are paying bounty hunters or the average Jane or Joe can call the tip line and give information that leads to the arrest and deportation of any person, included Nikki Black, that is said to be a blabbermouth. Here's one thing that we realize about our own Jamaican. People like people that talk their mind, and even worse, people don't like people that is on social media dissing up people. However, you have to remember, like I said, the theme of this video, he that exalted himself shall be abased. In this new world order, new era, you cannot be out there and know that your paperwork is not straight and dissing everybody, calling out everybody's name, when you know that your background is not so squeaky clean. So therefore, the fact that you have enemies before and then under a later government, people not really stress it, immigration, ICE not really stressing it. But like I said, with the new world order and the implementation of the new government under the Donald, Uncle Donald, things have changed drastically. So therefore, it is only eminent now that more than likely this lady is going to go through the deportation process. Maybe they are just going to round her up on the next batch that is coming to Jamaica based on the fact that the paperwork was not implemented and the fact that makes it worse that she has a case and the fact that she was on probation. And here is some fun facts. You could leave from Jamaica, take away 100 people, jump on a boat, go to Bahamas, cross the border and Mexico, and file for political asylum. And you have a great chance of staying in America until they get to your case. If you are in America for 100 years and you did not get the paperwork, however, you got a case, your chances of staying is probably 0 to -1 gazillion. So do the maths and you'll know exactly what I am speaking about. So we have to ask ourselves the question, how is it that Nikki Blacks, the America so long, have so much talk, have so much, well, not charm? How she never get a man to marry? Well, people, she is not the most beautiful specimen known to men. She is what we would call a monkey sample. So just imagine if you are a monkey sample in a place where it makes you look refined. Just imagine what is going to happen if and when she comes back to Jamaica, which more than likely she will. If she ugly over here, so what is going to happen when she goes back over there, so she's going to be a monkey sample times 10, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called Karma has no sorts of expiration dates. Fly high or fly low, justice is going to be served. Such is the case for individual 19-year-old Ryan Lynch, known as Bad Fowl, notorious gunman at the tender age of 19-year-old. He's from Crescent Road, which happens to be the same road in which a next man known as Redman was taken out by the police, controversially, shootout them call it. In the same vicinity in which that 14-year-old Price Johnson was also taken away. Based on information, it is said that on or about the 2nd of 2024, there was a mass pipe out in which 3 persons lost their life and 5 others were badly injured. This happened at the intersection of Kid Lane and Boynes Road. On about the 31st of November, less than a month afterwards, Mr. Lynch was taken out by some gunmen in a St. Thomas. I want you to take a look to what the professional journalist has to say, and then I'll give my unprofessional piece.
The charges stemmed from a mass shooting on November 2 last year at the intersection of Kidd Lane and Bowens Road, Kingston 13. 63-year-old Ricardo Baker, 35-year-old Kemar Hardware, and 19-year-old Steve Muir were killed in the attack, and 5 other persons wounded. Investigators say the attack stemmed from a feud involving members of rival gangs operating within the St. Andrew South Police Division. Ryan Lynch was shot and killed by gunmen in Greenwall District, St. Thomas, on November 31 last year. The police say he was later identified by a witness via photo collage.
So, people, you heard what the professional journalist had to say. He was charged posthumous. I don't even know the big word. Tell me the big word in the comment section. He was charged for the takeaway of 3 lives and also wounding with intent. And you know, once there's any sort of fire piece involved, automatically, you're going to be charged for prohibited weapon. You're going to be charged for ammunition. Now, people, 8 people one time, 3 of them did not make it. This man thought that he left scot-free, was not even mentioned. Well, of course, he was a suspect. Thought that he had gotten away, left from Kingston, and went all the way to St. Thomas on a different mission, and that mission failed him. Pretty much him get mama and papa missionary, he got FUC, KED, and justifiably so. At the end of the day, the moral of the story is this. The good that you do, it follows you. The bad that you do, it haunts you. Fly high, fly low. Justice is going to be served. Karma has no expiration date. However, it will expire you. Such is the case as it pertains to bad foul. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, I got up about a day or so ago to a newspaper article in which your DPP, Paula Llewellyn, claims that she is ready to try Usain Bolt's fraud case against the SSL Fraudulent Corporation. And I said to myself, wow, it seems as if everything that you see is more than meets the eye. It seems as if this is the reason why they want the DPP back. Amongst other reasons, I am not saying that that is the only reason. Ulterior motive. So I said to myself, then hold on a minute. How is it that you're ready to try the case and I don't hear any more suspects' name being called? The chief executors, the CEO, top management being person of interest or even worse, suspect in this case. So you want to tell me that it is only Gina Panton that is the sole person responsible for the theft of billions of dollars, thousands and millions of United States dollars, including that of Usain Bolt, 12 point something million amongst 199, 200 victims to be specific. You're going to tell me that it is Gina Panton that is running the whole show. There is not upper management that delegates or give sign-off on certain transactions that take place. Gina Panton is the do-it-all, tell-it-all, the omnipotent of SSL. She just does everything, transaction from top to bottom, and then she thief out the money. Money can't be found. Obviously, she was living a very luxurious life. But we know that there are other players, major players that are involved. That seems to be La Castra Nostra, seems to be untouchable, seems to be the John Gotti of Jamaica, seems to be shielded by somebody, preferably the government in power, preferably a prime minister that got his money back. He was the only one that did not. be a victim, victimized in this whole debacle, this whole fraudulent activity. Now, people, these are all facts that I am telling you. And I understand whenever I speak about the SSL and I link the JLP, it seems as if people get in their feelings. And it seems as if there are always a set of itches. And this is not to disrespect women. I am not speaking about the women. I am speaking about the men that are out there, facilitators of the JLP government, that it seems as if whenever I talk, them get sensitive and them little man clit start to jump and them feel as if them have to come out and defend them man, which seems to be Andrew Holness, and them always send me up under my mother and tell me all sorts of stuff. So therefore, this is what I call blind loyalty, which is worse than no sorts of loyalty at all. These people are obviously in denial. Because here's the facts. It was a JLP government, regulatory body, financial commission, wherever I'd call, that gave these persons the green light, gave these persons the license to operate as a Ponzi scheme, which was exactly what they were. They were the ones that renewed the license on an annual or biannual, however much it was renewed. So therefore, they must have known everything. So I say this to say that you're going to tell me that all of these millions, all of these billions that are missing, nobody is held accountable, no sorts of suspect, just Jean Ann Panton by her own lonesome self. People, this is hard to believe that after all of this, bringing in a forensic specialist from UK, bringing in the FBI, which I have not heard the FBI. I know I have family members that are part of law enforcement, including the FBI in the United States, and them don't know nothing. Where the finance minister, ex-finance minister, Mr. Nigel Clark, was saying they are not privy to the investigation. So therefore, they must have been on the sideline. So how is it that when people talk, you heard Bolt say it himself, he did an interview on the Fix and him said, no, him not get back his money. Him not hear no sorts of talk. So you're telling me that all of these people that are jumping up and down in the comment section are not privy to this. Them have them head up the ass, or them have it up in an Andrew Holness ASS, because this is nothing political unless you want to make it political, unless the political party that is in power is the JLP or is it the PNP? Who is it? Whose shift did this happen on? I ask you a basic question. So before you make a comment, know of information, don't be ignorant, don't be an ignoramus ASS. Well, appropriate based on the fact that you have your head up your ASS. So people, when we see this, we're supposed to know the results. We're supposed to know what to expect. We're supposed to know that these persons are never, ever, ever going to be charged. So therefore, if you're never, ever, ever a suspect, never, ever at least a person of interest, then it is obvious that you will never, ever be convicted. So it is obvious that if you're not held accountable, then your accounts cannot be checked out. So I want you to take a look at exactly what Usain Bolt's lawyer has to say as it pertains to that, and then I'll give my piece.
Our concern is heightened by the fact that no effort came from the investigations whereby an application was made to freeze any of the officers' assets, any of the senior people's assets. Nothing like that. Nothing came out of the investigation where it said that to freeze this account number pending the outcome of this matter. Somehow, this was not done, and whenever you are pursuing an investigation of fraud, freezing the assets of the suspect or the person charged is always an important step, as it will ensure that in the event that there is conviction, there is something that the victim can recover from.
So people, you heard what the lawyer said, and the lawyer is a part of the case, being the representative, the defender of Bolt and his $12-point-something million, $2-point-something billion Jamaican dollars. So therefore, he would be privy to the information as to what exactly is going on. He said that none of the big parties, meaning upper management, meaning the owners, the CEO, the executive of SSL, none of their assets have been frozen, which does not comply with what happens in a fraud case. So therefore, it tells you that they've been treated with kid's glove. It tells you that these people that are supposed to be the justice system in Jamaica cannot be taken seriously, including the Minister of Security, the Minister of Justice, the DPP, Paula Llewellyn, and our understudies. We cannot take them serious because if you're telling us now, after pressure, as soon as Bolt came out and did that interview with the Fix, isn't it more than coincidental that we see that the DPP is claiming she is now ready? People, this is more than coincidental. It tells you that this was a plan from the beginning. And it tells you that nobody except for Jean Ann Panton, the lone wolf in this, is going to be convicted. She is a sacrificial lamb, call it the scapegoats. So people, like me say, this has nothing to do with politics. It has all to do with wrong or right. However, if you have a political agenda and you have your head up your ASS and you don't know the difference between wrong or right, then you will see it okay. You will sign off on it. You will be a facilitator of the FUCKRY that is being perpetuated on one of Jamaica's son of the soil that has done more for Jamaica, him and Bob Marley, than anybody else, including everybody else. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.